Hello, everyone. I'm so happy you're here today to practice your English with me. In this lesson, we will use a technique called shadowing to help you speak more fluently and confidently. Shadowing means you listen to a sentence and then speak it right after, copying the rhythm, intonation, and pronunciation. This simple exercise can make your speaking sound more natural over time. Today, our topic is hobbies and interests, things you like to do in your free time, such as reading books, playing sports, or watching movies. Talking about your hobbies is a great way to practice everyday conversations, because most people enjoy sharing what they love and why. First, I'll explain why shadowing works so well for learners at the intermediate level. When you repeat what you hear, you train your ear to recognize sounds and patterns that might feel challenging at first. You also train your mouth and tongue to form those sounds more easily. Over time, you will notice that words and phrases come out without much effort. You will feel more confident when speaking with friends, teachers, or colleagues. I'll show you how to shadow short sentences that describe hobbies, and I'll repeat key ideas in different ways to make sure you really understand them. Next, we will use simple, natural sentences that match your B1 to B2 level. You won't see any complicated grammar rules or long lists of vocabulary. Instead, I'll speak in clear, calm English, and you'll follow along. By listening and repeating, you build muscle memory in your mouth and strengthen your listening skills. We'll focus on questions like, "What do you enjoy doing?" or statements like, "I love painting because it helps me relax." I'll show you the same idea in different words, so you hear how we can talk about hobbies in many ways. Finally, I want you to remember that practice is more important than perfection. It's okay if you make mistakes at first. The goal is to keep your mouth and ear active, to feel comfortable with the sounds of English. In the main part of our lesson, we will explore useful phrases for describing hobbies and interests. You will hear them, shadow them, and then use them yourself. I'll gently guide you through each example and repeat key phrases in slightly different forms, so you really absorb the language. Let's get ready to dive into those phrases and start shadowing together in the main part. In this section, we will explore common phrases and sentence patterns for talking about hobbies and interests, and you will shadow each phrase to build confidence and fluency. As we move from the introduction's overview of shadowing and hobbies, notice how each new sentence uses familiar words in slightly different ways. First, listen and repeat. I enjoy reading novels in the evening. Now again, I enjoy reading novels in the evening. By shadowing twice, you begin to feel the rhythm of the sentence. Next, try this variation. In the evening, I like to read novels. Again, shadow. In the evening, I like to read novels. You can see how the same idea can be framed differently, yet the meaning stays clear. We can also talk about frequency. Shadow this sentence. I go jogging 3 times a week. Then rephrase. I enjoy jogging every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Shadow. I enjoy jogging every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Next, try 3 times each week. I go for a jog. Shadow. 3 times each week. I go for a jog. By practicing these variations, you prepare yourself to discuss schedules and routines with confidence. Now, let us focus on questions that invite conversation. First, hear and repeat. What do you like to do in your free time? Shadow. What do you like to do in your free time? Another way to ask is, which hobbies interest you the most? Shadow. Which hobbies interest you the most? Try one more. Tell me about your favorite pastime. Shadow. Tell me about your favorite pastime. Practicing these questions helps you engage in real dialogues. When you answer, you can mix phrases. Shadow. I really enjoy playing the guitar because it helps me express myself. Shadow again. I really enjoy playing the guitar because it helps me express myself. Then say, playing guitar is my favorite activity since it allows me to be creative. Shadow. Playing guitar is my favorite activity since it allows me to be creative. By shadowing both question and answer forms, you train both your listening and speaking skills at the same time. Next, let us describe a hobby in detail. Repeat after me. Collecting stamps is a hobby that teaches me about different cultures. Shadow. Collecting stamps is a hobby that teaches me about different cultures. Now say, through my stamp collection, I learn where each stamp comes from. Shadow. Through my stamp collection, I learn where each stamp comes from. Finally, try. My collection of stamps shows me the history of many countries. Shadow. My collection of stamps shows me the history of many countries. Each version gives you a fresh way to share details about what you love. Sometimes, you want to share how long you have pursued an interest. Shadow this. I have been practicing yoga for 2 years. Shadow again. I have been practicing yoga for 2 years. Then say, for the past 2 years, I have practiced yoga regularly. Shadow. For the past 2 years, I have practiced yoga regularly. Another version. I started yoga 2 years ago, and I still do it every day. Shadow. I started yoga 2 years ago, and I still do it every day. Notice how you can use present perfect, simple past, and present simple to express time. We can also compare hobbies. Listen and repeat. I prefer swimming to running. Shadow. I prefer swimming to running. Next, say, I like swimming more than running. Shadow. I like swimming more than running. Or try, swimming is more enjoyable for me than running. Shadow. Swimming is more enjoyable for me than running. Comparing activities helps you express personal preference clearly. Finally, let us summarize the key structures before we move to examples. Shadow. I enjoy activity because it benefit. Shadow again. I enjoy activity because it benefit. Then, I have been verb ing for time period. Shadow. I have been verb ing for time period. And, which hobbies interest you the most? Shadow. Which hobbies interest you the most? By practicing these patterns in different ways, you create a foundation you can rely on in conversation. Now that you have shadowed a variety of sentences about hobbies, you have heard how simple changes in word order and verb tense can give you new ways to express yourself. In the next chapter, we will move into short dialogues where you will shadow complete conversations, putting these structures into action. This will help you see how people really talk about their interests and give you more practice repeating and absorbing these phrases. By doing so, you'll build the fluency and confidence you need to join in on hobby discussions in English. Let's practice another idea. My favorite hobby is painting landscapes. Shadow it once and then repeat. My favorite hobby is painting landscapes. Now, rephrase. I love painting landscapes in my free time. Shadow. I love painting landscapes in my free time. Each time you shadow, your mouth learns the movement, and your ear learns how the words connect. You will find that over time, these phrases begin to flow naturally from your lips. Often, when talking about hobbies, you want to explain why you enjoy them. Listen and repeat. I find painting relaxing because it helps me focus. Shadow. I find painting relaxing because it helps me focus. Another way to say this is, painting relaxes me and helps me concentrate. Shadow. Painting relaxes me and helps me concentrate. Notice how the structure shifts from I find because to activity relaxes me because, giving you options when you speak. Examples. In this chapter, we will use complete dialogues to practice shadowing in real conversational contexts. Building on the sentence patterns from the main part, you will hear short exchanges about hobbies and interests. Listen carefully and shadow each line, noticing how speakers ask questions and respond naturally. By practicing these mini conversations, you will gain confidence in both understanding and producing English in everyday situations. Next, let's practice a dialogue at an art workshop. Speaker A asks, do you enjoy painting? Shadow, do you enjoy painting? Speaker B answers, yes, I really enjoy it. Painting helps me express my creativity. Shadow, yes, I really enjoy it. Painting helps me express my creativity. A then asks, what kind of painting do you like the most? Shadow, what kind of painting do you like the most? B responds, I prefer watercolor landscapes because they look soft and peaceful. Shadow, I prefer watercolor landscapes because they look soft and peaceful. Then A says, watercolors are beautiful. I have been trying oil paints recently. Shadow, watercolors are beautiful. I have been trying oil paints recently. And B replies, oil paints are great for vibrant colors. I might try them too. Shadow, oil paints are great for vibrant colors. I might try them too. Each phrase gives you a chance to repeat familiar vocabulary in a new conversation. Now let's listen to a conversation about sports. Speaker A asks, which sport do you play regularly? Shadow, which sport do you play regularly? Speaker B replies, I usually play tennis on weekends with my friends. Shadow, I usually play tennis on weekends with my friends. A then says, tennis sounds fun. How long have you been playing? Shadow, tennis sounds fun. How long have you been playing? B answers, I have been playing tennis for 3 years. It keeps me active. Shadow, I have been playing tennis for 3 years. It keeps me active. A responds, that's impressive. I've been running lately to stay fit. Shadow, that's impressive. I've been running lately to stay fit. B finishes, running is excellent exercise. Maybe I'll join you one day. Shadow, running is excellent exercise. Maybe I'll join you one day. Notice how questions about frequency and duration appear naturally in the dialogue. Let's move on to a discussion about music. Speaker A says, I heard you learned a musical instrument. Is that true? Shadow, I heard you learned a musical instrument. Is that true? Speaker B answers, yes, I started playing the piano last year. Shadow, yes, I started playing the piano last year. A asks, what do you enjoy most about playing piano? Shadow, what do you enjoy most about playing piano? B replies, I love learning new songs because it challenges me and makes me happy. Shadow, I love learning new songs because it challenges me and makes me happy. A then says, that sounds great. I play the guitar and I enjoy composing my own melodies. Shadow, that sounds great. I play the guitar and I enjoy composing my own melodies. B responds, composing music must be so creative. I'd like to try that soon. Shadow, composing music must be so creative. I'd like to try that soon. Here you practice talking about why you like an activity and using present perfect to describe recent beginnings. Next is a conversation about travel hobbies. Speaker A asks, have you traveled anywhere interesting recently? Shadow, have you traveled anywhere interesting recently? Speaker B says, yes, I went hiking in the mountains last month. Shadow, yes, I went hiking in the mountains last month. A responds, mountains are beautiful. What was your favorite part? Shadow, mountains are beautiful. What was your favorite part? B replies, I loved watching the sunrise because it was calm and inspiring. Shadow, I loved watching the sunrise because it was calm and inspiring. A then says, that must have been amazing. I prefer beach trips for relaxation. Shadow, that must have been amazing. I preferred beach trips for relaxation. B answers, beaches are wonderful too. The sound of waves is very soothing. Shadow, beaches are wonderful too. The sound of waves is very soothing. This dialogue uses simple past and present preferences to describe experiences. Finally, let's practice a dialogue about reading. Speaker A says, I heard you enjoy reading. What book are you reading now? Shadow, I heard you enjoy reading. What book are you reading now? Speaker B answers, I'm reading a mystery novel because I love suspense. Shadow, I'm reading a mystery novel because I love suspense. A asks, do you read every day? Shadow, do you read every day? B replies, yes, I read for at least 30 minutes each night before bed. Shadow, yes, I read for at least 30 minutes each night before bed. A then says, that's a good habit. I sometimes read magazine articles in the morning. Shadow, that's a good habit. I sometimes read magazine articles in the morning. B finishes, magazines are great for quick information. I'll try that too. Shadow, magazines are great for quick information. I'll try that too. In this exchange, you use frequency adverbs and routines to discuss reading habits. By shadowing these dialogues, you have practiced a variety of question forms, responses, and reasons for enjoying hobbies. You have also heard how natural conversations flow, from greetings to follow-up questions to sharing personal experiences. Now that you have shadowed these examples, you are ready to move on to our conclusion, where we will review the main takeaways, and I will encourage you to keep practicing every day. First, let's imagine two friends meeting at a cafe. Speaker A says, "Hi there, I haven't seen you in a while. What have you been up to lately?" Shadow, "Hi there, I haven't seen you in a while. What have you been up to lately?" Speaker B replies, "I've been learning to cook Italian dishes because I love the flavors. How about you?" Shadow, "I've been learning to cook Italian dishes because I love the flavors. How about you?" Then A answers, "I recently started gardening. I find planting flowers very relaxing." Shadow, "I recently started gardening. I find planting flowers very relaxing." Finally, B responds, "That sounds wonderful. Gardening must be a lovely way to spend your free time." Shadow, "That sounds wonderful. Gardening must be a lovely way to spend your free time." Notice how each turn uses the question and answer structures we practiced. In this lesson, you have practiced using shadowing to talk about hobbies and interests in English. You began by learning how shadowing helps your mouth and ear work together to produce natural speech. You explored key sentence patterns like, "I enjoy activity because it benefit," "I have been," verb ing, for time period, and questions such as, "Which hobbies interest you the most?" In the main part, you heard how simple changes in word order and verb tense can give you many ways to express the same idea. Then, in the examples chapter, you shadowed complete dialogues about cooking, gardening, painting, sports, music, travel, and reading. By repeating each line, you experienced how questions and answers flow in real conversations. Finally, keep a gentle attitude towards your learning journey. Language learning takes time, but with daily practice, even just 10 minutes of shadowing, you will see steady improvement. Celebrate each small success, whether it's mastering a new phrase or feeling more comfortable asking, "What do you like to do in your free time?" The more you practice, the more your English will flow naturally, and the more enjoyable it will become. Thank you for joining me today. You have done excellent work exploring useful phrases, shadowing a variety of situations, and reinforcing your speaking and listening skills. Keep practicing every day, and soon talking about your hobbies and interests in English will feel effortless. Remember, each time you shadow, you take one more step toward fluent, confident speech. Practice, stay motivated, and enjoy your journey with English. Remember that the goal of shadowing is not perfection, but progress. It's okay if you stumble over new words or take a moment to recall a phrase. Each time you listen and repeat, you strengthen your ability to hear the sounds of English and to shape them with your voice. Over time, your pronunciation will improve, your rhythm will become more natural, and you will feel more confident speaking with others. To make the most of this practice, choose 1 or 2 dialogues from today's lesson and shadow them again tomorrow. Try recording yourself while you shadow, then listen back and notice areas where you can slow down, soften your intonation, or link sounds smoothly. You might also create your own short conversations about your favorite hobby, perhaps describing why you love cycling, gaming, or knitting, and shadow those as well. By repeating these exercises regularly, you build muscle memory and reinforce your listening skills.